Good afternoon, Franklin students and staff. This is Mr. Potachik with you today to review an activity that you'll complete in your homerooms in just a few minutes. Thank you again for your time today. I'd appreciate your attention these next few minutes as we review ways you can provide feedback, important feedback, to other students and staff at Franklin Middle School. Returning 7th and 8th grade students may remember the use of these videos throughout the past. This is the first of the 2019-2020 school year. Videos such as this provide important information and data to students about how our year is going now that we're a quarter of the way into the school year. But most importantly, it provides you, the students, the opportunity to provide feedback. This feedback will begin in just a few minutes. As you've seen throughout the building and in our daily announcements, Franklin Guidelines for Success is the format we use to communicate expectations of all Franklin community members. Today, we're going to focus on the S of bolts as we continue to work on ways to make Franklin a safe and orderly place. As we take the survey today and others throughout the year, it's important to understand the terminology. You will hear the words safe, orderly, rules, and procedures. Please follow along as I explain what each of these terms mean and think about how they relate to you as a student here at Franklin. Safe means not able or likely to be hurt or harmed in any way. Orderly means arranged or in an organized way. Rules are statements that tell you what is or is not allowed. And lastly, procedures are a series of actions that are done in a certain way. Again, think of how these terms can relate to you as a student here at Franklin Middle School. This logo may look familiar. The work of high reliability schools, in particular Level 1, revolves around the themes of safe and orderly. For the past 2 years, Franklin staff, students, and families have taken a brief survey in the spring to communicate their experiences at Franklin. We will continue that work this year. The data on this slide reflects our first 2 years of the HRS survey and how our students have made their voices heard. All Franklin staff is dedicated to make this building a safe and orderly place for all students. Our goal for each of these numbers, and remember the scale was on 1 through 5, with 5 being the best possible score. Our goal is to average at least 3.5 on each of the following statements. Take some time in your homeroom to talk through the data from both the 2017-18 school year and the 2018-19 school year. Teachers, at this time, if you want to pause your screens and talk with your staff about the observations that you see through the numbers and the statements listed along the left. Again, students, you will take this survey again in the spring of the 2019-20 school year, and our goal is, again, 3.5 or higher. This last piece of data reflects our first quarter data from observing the hallways. 2 years ago, our building staff took on the initiative of improving the flow of our common areas, in particular our hallways. The Franklin Foundations team, which is made up of Franklin administrators, counselors, and teachers, observe student and staff behavior in the hallway to look for areas of growth and areas to celebrate. The information in front of you is from multiple first quarter floor observations. We're happy with the scores, especially those whose percentages are 80% or higher. However, we also know that there are areas that we can grow. Again, teachers, at this time, if you want to pause and give your students a chance to see the scores from first quarter floor observations. It's now time for me to be quiet and time for your voices to be heard through a survey. In just a little bit, your teacher will be handing out the surveys for first quarter. We will take these 2 more times throughout the year. These surveys are completely anonymous, meaning we will not know what your answers are as an individual student. So we encourage your honest feedback so we know next steps as a building. In addition, the ranking each statement strongly agree to strongly disagree, there's also a spot for you to provide comments on your suggestions to make Franklin a better place. These comments are read and shared with all staff, and I want you to know that we read through them carefully. An example of how we took student feedback is from last year when we lengthened our passing time from 3 to 4 minutes for the 19-20 school year. So please make sure, again, provide your honest feedback, but also provide ways that we can make Franklin a better place for all. I want to thank you for your attention today, and thank you in advance for your feedback as we continue to make Franklin safe and early for all. Thank you, and have a great day and a great upcoming weekend.